The opinions expressed on this podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily reflect the views of the podcast host, its sponsors, or any affiliate organizations. The information provided on this podcast is for general information purposes only and should not be considered as professional advice. Listeners are advised to consult with professionals in relevant fields regarding their specific situation. The podcast host and its affiliates shall not be held responsible for any action taken or not taken based on the information provided on this podcast.
Yo, hey, welcome back to the Concept Podcast. You know, we back at it again, same crew. You know what I'm saying? Everybody been good?
Yes, sir.
You know, it's been a long week for the kid, but on a long week, you know, it's good to stay accountable. Get on your P's and Q's and make sure you're doing the things that you said you was gonna do, right?
Facts.
On the strength of accountability, that's what we're gonna speak about today. So I got a question from Instagram. You know, I appreciate y'all for tuning in and leaving y'all comments and DMing me and stuff. So, you know, we gonna chalk this one up to one of our great followers. Appreciate the support again. So the question was,
that's the first one, ain't it?
yeah. So the question was, what does accountability mean to you, and how do you think it impacts personal growth and relationships?
Okay, that's a great question. Accountability to me means pretty much, so you kind of set out a goal, and you try to do everything you do to pretty much make that goal. You be responsible for everything. I don't want to use the word account for it, but it's always going to come up for it. You got to make sure you're accounted for of doing everything, of making the right steps to reach that goal pretty much.
For sure.
So you got to make sure nothing else even stirred away. Even if you do stir your way, go off a different way, you still have to make sure you going back to make the same steps towards be accountable for that goal.
Right.
So you got to make sure you got to accept all the flaws that comes with it. You got to make sure, hey, I did this. Nobody else made me do all this. Nobody made me steer off my main objective, what I need to do. You just got to accept what fucked you up pretty much.
I think, and DC said a key word that I recognized in that was, and he said it quick, was responsible. Oh, yeah. I think they synonyms. You holding accountability and responsibility is the same thing. You got to hold yourself to a certain standard. So to me, being accountable is holding yourself responsible if you did something right or wrong, like he was saying. You got to be able to say, oh, yeah, pat yourself on the back sometimes, because not everybody going to pat you on the back. I did this right. I let myself down in this aspect. I can do better. That's taking accountability in stuff you do.
Don't pat yourself on the back for all the good shit that you're doing. Make sure you accept the fuck-ups, too. If you fucked up on what you got going, hey, man, just my bad. I know I messed up here. I got to get back on the right, straight and narrow path.
Because what they say, we are our own harshest critic. Yeah, so, like, they're serious. We all get in our own head. And I think from what DC is saying, I'm taking the opposite approach is we don't give ourselves enough good praise sometimes. That keeps you motivated, giving yourself good praise, being accountable on the positive aspect of it. But like DC said, on the negative aspect of it too, you also got to hold yourself accountable.
Got to. Yeah. I think it's a portion of like I said, taking ownership. For me, like the accountability was like, I don't need the praise for doing the right stuff. That's never something I really needed. It was just the right thing to do. But like when I screw up, as a man, we have to accept I did that.
Right.
And not only did I do that, I acknowledge I did it. Now I'm going to grow from it. It's kind of like, once again, you touch a hot stove, you learned your lesson.
Right.
You're not going to do it again. So whatever situation you're in, if you hold yourself accountable for that wrongdoing or that screw up, it's something you can build off of. I know not to do that anymore. So now I can do it the right way and teach other people how to do it the right way.
Right.
For sure. Hey, I agree with all y'all. Like y'all said, you know, accountability is just holding yourself to that one standard, you know.
Right.
Good, bad, right, wrong, you know. If you did something, man up to it, you know, as men, you know, ladies, woman up to it, or whatever, you know. But to get to the other part of that question, how does it impact growth and your relationship? So that's one. Accountability is one thing we do with each other.
Right.
You know, we gonna tell you right or wrong. Yeah. Hey, you did something. It ain't nobody's fault. You played the main part, because if it's happening to you, is on you. You know what I'm saying?
With that, trying to have accountability for other people for you, you can't lie to the person that you
Right.
got with you, holding you accountable for what you got going on. So if you tell them a lie like, okay, I got this going on, knowing you ain't got shit right, that's gonna fuck up really what you got going on.
Yeah.
And to put that in, just we're not just talking about relationships as in boy girl. We're talking about, to me, business relationships,
Yeah.
even what we doing right now, friendships, any of this. We hold each other accountable. Hey, we need to be here this time for this episode. This what we talking about. This what we outlining. Even to go with this, we hold each other accountable. We have a group text. Everybody say when they free what they got going on. If a person say, "Hey, y'all shoot without me this week," I got this going on. We don't research and be like, he lied to me and nothing like that. We ain't digging like that. But it's just holding. We trust you. We hold each other accountable. We see that everybody got a personal life, including work. You got to be accountable at work. If you say, "Hey, your boss wants to know beforehand, not the day of, hey, I can't make it today."
Right.
I can't, unless some truth you like sick as a dog or something. No business partner, boss, anybody want to know. They want to know you a credible person to say, "Hey, this is the reason I can't be here," and they don't have to research it.
Yeah.
You are an accountable person.
Yeah. And with growth, you're not gonna grow if you don't hold yourself or the person you in a relationship or partner with accountable. Like you're not gonna see growth in this. You're just gonna stay at a steady,
Yeah.
steady
You're gonna
line pretty
plateau.
much. You're not gonna grow at all if you're not gonna hold yourself accountable at all.
Yeah, and I think it's one of those things that if your friend or your significant other isn't holding you accountable and vice versa, it's one of those things that you're accepting of it.
Right.
So then you're completely counteracting the learning portion of accountability. You're
Right.
counteracting the growth portion of accountability. So I really feel like you got to move differently if you know they're letting you get away with stuff.
Right.
Because deep down, everybody knows if you got away with a lot, if
Yeah.
you got away with doing something half-assed.
Just knowing
you
what
know
buttons
I'm
you
saying?
can press.
Everybody- Yeah. So deep down, you know. So you got to have a circle around you or somebody next to you that you know for a fact, if you screw up, they're going to hold you accountable.
Right.
This group here, I know if I start moving differently, y'all going to hold me accountable. Y'all are going to check me because I need it.
Yeah.
What's crazy is the person that keeps you accountable, you probably hate them the most.
Yeah. Hey,
You probably
Boy.
hate them
Hey,
the most,
absolutely
bro.
true.
What's funny that you said that I had, I'm big on memes. So I had seen a meme the other day. It said, accountability feels like an attack from
Right.
somebody that care for you. You know what I'm saying? And that's when you're not holding yourself accountable.
Right.
So
Take offense to it.
you take offense to it. You know what
You
I'm saying?
defensive.
And,
You
and
on
it
the
ain't nothing
defense.
to be offended by. You know what I'm saying? You should actually look, that really should prompt you to look into the mirror and be like, I really got offended because
He told me
my
so
boy
much.
told me, damn, you getting big. Why you ain't in the gym like you used to? You know what I'm saying? Everybody know. I meal prep for a week, then I go back to drinking, you know.
Right, yeah.
But it just like, it's little stuff like this. So the moving forward, the next question that they had for us was to share experiences where you held somebody accountable or somebody held you accountable. And off rip, like, Casey, when you see this, like, you gonna know.
Right.
Casey was training me.
Yeah.
Casey made me lose 30 pounds. And then I just let it go.
Yeah.
And then, so he would hit me up like, hey, for you went to the gym? And I'm like, damn, you know, I should have went to the gym on my lunch break. I wasn't doing shit, you know. I wasn't doing, he was like, boy, get your ass in the gym. And then that make me feel like, hey, after work, I'm going to go ahead, hit the weights a little bit, hoop, you know, do something. I got to do something. If I want results,
I gotta do something.
I got to do
Gotta
something.
do
And then I got to start taking the small wins. It was cool that I had somebody be like,
Right.
even though he do fitness, you know what I'm saying? That's his main thing. But outside of that, I probably would have never got my ass up
Right.
and went back to the gym. It'd have been on my time when every day I should have been, damn, I know the results I want, but I ain't gonna never get there if I ain't doing it.
Right. Yeah.
So
It's kind of on the same thing with you. Kind of the weightlifting and just working out pretty much. I think it's my uncle pretty much. He hit me up every day. Hey man, you wanna go on a bike ride?
Yeah.
You wanna go hit the gym for about 30 minutes? No, we finna do the same thing, but it's just the fact of just doing something for 30 minutes, bro. I'm one of the people. I hate thinking about going somewhere, but once I get there, bro, I'm gonna give you my all.
Yeah.
It's always the hardest thing of just the
Facts.
mind frame of just going there.
Right.
Cause I know when I get there, bro, it's easy, bro. I know I'm gonna get something out of it.
Yeah.
So it ain't.
I think for me, it's not one specific experience. The question is experience. I think for me, it's my sister and her experience of holding me accountable of what she believes I can do,
Right.
or the person I am. She holds me accountable in the simple fact she'd be like, EJ, you do this today, not specifically just work out. She sent me a screenshot. See, when you watch this, she sent me a screenshot every day. She running 3-4 miles.
Yeah.
Promise. It motivated me. Damn, what am I doing? Just sitting back, relaxing? Or she'll call me. Hey, EJ, this going on. I need you to do this. Or I feel like you should move this way. And it holds me accountable from an outside perspective to see what people see me as in a sense.
And I think for me personally, it's always been my girl. So back in the days, it was no secret. I used to be one of the most shortcut, last minute, lazy people you could come across.
Yeah,
It's no secret. And it got to a point to where she was like, why are you doing it this way when you have so much potential to do it better and further your life? And I will say it took a second for me to accept my responsibility being younger. But as I matured, I accepted responsibility, and now I am miles from where I was. And the laziness portion of it. Now I wake up knowing I got a checklist on my mind. It's time to grind. It's time to get to work. So she has been a huge factor in keeping me accountable and helping my experience in my career and in life progress.
I can kind of say that too. Other than the fitness thing, my other cousin Jay, he be on my ass about, hey man, what you doing with your money? What you putting it into? What you doing? What you saving for? What you doing? At the time, I had no answer. I really didn't know what I was doing. I was like, hey man, you trying to go out? You trying to go get some eat, have a drink or two, man? I'm just, But now I just really think about it. He held me accountable of trying to be more aware of the money out where it's going
Financially, financially.
in that way. So guess we give credit to that.
And on that, I own my own business. I work for somebody and I work for myself. So you know what I'm saying. So in that experience, my supervisor at work holds me to a certain standard, and I'm supposed to be accountable for so many things, and it takes him reminding me, hey, Free, did we get this done? Hey, Free, did we get that done? Which leads me to bring those same
Principles
into my business mindset, because I got to hold myself accountable. Because at that point, it ain't nobody overwatching me. I got to shoot at 6 o'clock. This phone, it can be used for so many different things. One thing I don't use it for, reminders. You know what I'm saying?
I just got into putting reminders in my phone.
You know what I'm saying? So now I got to hold myself accountable to be on time for a shoot, Make sure my client is...
Teach you how to time manage.
Yeah, better time management. You know what I'm saying? So it's just little things like that with accountability, too.
So accountability can take you so many different ways in your own life. Like teach you how to run your own business, how to be accountable for your outside life, work.
How to be a better person in general. To me, accountability teaches people to be kind. Family aspect, grow you closer to your family, being accountable for stuff you do and listening to others when you are wrong in that aspect, and just listening to others and not being on the offensive earlier, like y'all were saying, people try to get offended. Just listening and being accountable for your actions can open the door to so much, like you're saying.
Put you in a role of what's your role in your family? Like what people hold you accountable for them, pretty much. What I need, not what I need you for, what I want you to do for me, pretty much. Like how you hold me accountable for what I need to really do and push forward in my life.
It controls so much life chaos. Because once you hit a certain standard and level of accountability and you accepting this is where I want to be. Like when stuff gets tacked on because you're accountable,
Right.
you map it out and it gets done.
For sure.
So like once you hit that level, you never want to, like for me personally, I never want to fall below a certain level of accountability because I've worked so hard to achieve it and gain the name of. If you ask him to do it, it's gonna get done, and it's gonna get done the right way. I don't ever want to slip back to the guy of, ooh, go get somebody else because he may get it done, he may not, may be on time, may not be on time.
And I think that goes to the first part, credibility. That helps build your credibility. Like, you're a trustworthy person. You're a hard-working person. It speaks to your character in general. Of this is what people see you as. They can hold you to that accountability, and when they ask you to do it, they know it's gonna get done. And I think that's one of the best feelings people can feel is if a person asks me, they know it's gonna get done. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to come back and be like, "Hey, did you do this?" Hey, remind you or have to go do it themselves or track behind you. They know it's
Questions
gonna
like,
done.
it may get done because I told them this, but they just know you gonna get it done.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I got a question for y'all regarding this, and we're gonna move to like the more negative light of it. You know, when you're in the wrong, how does having accountability kind of bring you out of that? Damn, I fucked up. You know, how do you accept it? Like, hey, I messed up, and what steps do you take to better to move yourself to be more accountable so you won't make the same mistake twice?
I think it's human nature to immediately be defensive.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to admit they did something wrong right off the jump. Nobody wants to be the guy.
right at all.
Yeah, they don't want to be the guy that screwed up something.
Right.
So, or woman that screwed up something. So I think even for me, in my line of work, I get held accountable for a lot of stuff. So when I screw up on something, it's like, damn, how the hell did that happen? Why did I do that? And how did that happen? And then my first thought is, what's my excuse for it? Just within that 5 seconds, it doesn't last long, but my first initial thought is, what is my excuse? And then the very next thought is, no, regardless of who was involved, it was on me. So I have to own up for that. And I think that's where a lot of people struggle to get to. Because it took me years and years to get to be that accepting to criticism.
It's quick to lie.
It's so quick and it's so much easier to come up with a lie or excuse or pawn it off on somebody else. But I've learned through trial and error, let the first thought go. Your first thought is probably going to be the worst one. So listen to the second or the third and then go from there.
Same thing. I know I've been that guy too, you know. Free shortcut, take them shortcuts, and I'm a bad procrastinator. And it is what it is, you know. But every day, you know, I've been put in a situation where I had to be like, damn, you know, it ain't nobody's fault but yours, you know. You your shortcoming, you know. Even though I was probably in a scenario where I was around a bunch of people, and I was kind of like following the monkey, you know, monkey see, monkey do.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you got to sit back and take ownership. You know what I'm saying? Ownership is a big thing in accountability, like we said. But the thing about it is, once you do accept that one thing, you then put the stepping stones in place to say, hey, I'll never do that again, you know, or hey, I can't find myself in that position again, you know. And once you do that, you level up your person. You level up who you are. And then once you level up to yourself, you level up in the eyes of everybody else. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's the biggest takeaway, you know. I did this for me. Right. And then with that, everybody can see the product that I've become.
And I think for me, it's exactly what you're saying. The couple months ago, I went through a situation where I wouldn't even say, to put it the same thing that Ruck was saying, my first thought was defensive. then my second thought was, it's partly on me. I put myself in that situation. It's ways I could have not put myself in that situation. I could have been like, nah, I ain't going with y'all here, or nah, this don't feel right, or nah, maybe I should have put a barrier in a relationship I had with a certain person. It's always ways that it was, to put it like this, it was many of routes that I could have took to not put myself in the predicament I was in.
Yeah.
And for me, at the beginning, it was easy to blame everybody else. And then later on, it's like, well, EJ, you got to hold yourself accountable and see where you messed up as well. And me holding accountability in that situation was getting myself out of that environment. I was like, hey, I don't want to be in this environment no more. It's time for me to move on. And that's what I did. And that's how I held accountability for myself.
For sure.
I got you. I think it mainly comes with pride. You just don't want to look bad knowing you fucked up in any situation. It's easier to lie and say, okay, I didn't do this. So it's easy to put it off on somebody else rather than owning up, because you're going to look good in front of people. When the truth come out, you're really going to look like a damn fool.
Yeah.
So it's easier just to take accountable. They'll respect that more than you just lie out. Man, I can't trust this man to do shit, do anything else for me.
Yeah.
So put the pride aside and just, hey, if you fucked up, just go on and accept it. It's easier that way.
It is.
The punishment is lesser if you accept it rather than put it off longer.
Yeah.
I learned that getting my ass whooped a lot as a kid too. So,
I think we all learned that lesson.
Yeah,
Just
man.
you fess up to it instead of letting it prolong out and hide.
You getting you getting
Well, my mom used to say, "This gonna hurt me more than
it
it
hurt
hurt
you. It don't, but I don't believe that way.
Biggest lie told in history right there.
That's the biggest lie told in history.
So, another thing was, how do you feel accountability fosters good relationships? Like, for us, for example, us holding each other, like, do y'all feel like the accountability makes us trust each other more?
100%. You're
Oh,
not
100%.
gonna have a relationship at all if you don't have no accountability. If you don't have
Oh,
nobody that you
no.
can hold accountable for.
I wouldn't be here right now at this podcast if y'all didn't hold me accountable. Hey, man, I would probably be in the bed sleep right now. I ain't gonna lie to you.
It's one of those things. I think it's not only a building block for friendships, but a generational building block. Because if we don't hold the people around us accountable, then they're just gonna spiral, and they're gonna wonder how they got there. And that's a big fear, like, that we should have as men and as people, just being around other people, is you should never let somebody get to the point of, how did I get here?
Yeah.
How did my friends, how did my family let me get here?
Yeah.
And you can't let the person you're trying to hold accountable for push you away, keep you away from them trying to do anything. Like, if they trying to push you away, hey man, just be consistent and stay on top of it. They'll eventually appreciate you. If they keep pushing you off and you don't think they want to be there, and you just follow up, you don't know where this person might end up.
Oh no, and it's the weight of both sides in that case. You're saying you shouldn't let them push you away, but you can only fight for so long too in that instance. I feel like because, and I'm not saying everybody's a lost cause. I'm not saying anybody's a lost cause, but at what point does that become detrimental to you as who you are? And this is kind of veering off the subject, but I appreciate people that hold folks accountable through a lot, and I hold a lot of. But when do you ever feel like that should end? Like, yeah, I have love for you, but I've tried my best to hold you accountable as much as
It's
possible.
never gonna go away. As much as you see the potential in the person, and you see they kind of do everything to go towards it right, but they always be peer pressure and do some other shit, and you see that they being peer pressured to fuck them off what they got going on. No, I'm gonna stay on somebody doing that, knowing they got the right mind frame to actually do the right thing, but
Yeah.
they're just letting this 2 or 3 people veer them off. Fuck no, bro. I'm
So,
on your ass.
so in that instance, do you talk to them about the people that's peer pressuring them? Because you got to hold them accountable around who they around, who's pushing them that wrong way.
It's always gonna be people around you trying to push you this way, push you that way. If you veer towards that, cool. I mean, I'm still gonna be here. I'm gonna be back here. I'm gonna be your biggest supporter. But if you just go that way,
There's only so much
it's
you
only
can
so
do.
much you can do.
I think there's a point to where you realize that person doesn't want to help themselves.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's when I step away. If I see you
Okay.
trying,
Yeah.
because trying and slipping up is completely
That's
different.
human.
That's
It's human.
nature.
It's human.
So,
Fuck up.
but when you're just not, when you're purposely doing it, now,
Okay, when you get to that, yeah.
yeah, when it gets to
Okay.
that point. So, and that was just to answer the question of when do you stop? For me, that's when I stop. Because you don't want to hit a point of the statement "birds of a feather flock together."
Yeah.
You don't ever want
That
to be
stench run off on you.
associated-
Yeah,
Yes.
you don't want stench
It's
rub off
rubbing
on you.
Now you're getting my accountability wrong. You're getting my credibility.
Yeah,
messed up.
everybody. Yeah.
Like that's when it's time to step away and maybe let somebody take over. Not maybe it was you, so somebody else can help out.
That's true too.
So maybe sometimes it's time to pass the buck.
And I think and pass the buck. And I think what DC said on that instance is also, I'll be in the background. I'm still here for you.
Right. Yeah.
I'm still here, but maybe you not hearing my voice, or maybe you not seeing what I see in you, or
I'm
whatever,
here
and
till
somebody
you
else
see
could
the
take.
picture I got for you.
Yeah,
Right. Right.
Pretty much what I was getting.
yeah, I got you.
And I like I was saying, I don't think it's a time limit on it. You'll get that feeling, you know.
Right.
The feeling is what's going to enact the yes or no, the should I keep going or should I not, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of it, I would say at least speak to the person and say, hey, this is what I see, this is what you're doing. I don't think it's the best, but I've been rocking with you for however long, and it's getting to that point, and you ain't gonna lose me, but you're gonna lose the presence of me. You know what I'm saying? And whenever I wouldn't say whenever you get your mind together, I'm right here for you. I would say get your mind together, and then once you show me, I think I could better help you, you know what I'm saying? Steer you even in a better path if I'm on that, you know what I'm saying?
And what you just described was accountability, right there, right there. What you just described. When you get yourself together and you get that place, you holding yourself accountable. You are holding yourself accountable then.
Yeah.
And then we can lock back in, and I can hold you accountable somewhere else.
Right.
And you can hold me accountable somewhere else. I'm not saying everything I'm telling you is right.
Right.
Because I'm not always right. But you know stuff I don't know, and I know stuff you don't know. And therefore, we can hold each other accountable in different aspects.
Yeah. And I think when you holding that accountability, you know, that's an easy way to level up. You know what I'm saying? Because $1 can turn to $2 if I say, hey, DC, bro, I got $1 for you right here, bro. Don't spend this dollar because next week I got another $1 for you. You know what I'm saying? But you spent that dollar. Now I don't even know. I'm like, damn, where I'm supposed
Can
to
he
put
hold
this
this
dollar
money?
at? You know what I'm saying?
Can he hold it?
But once we doing that, we can build dollars to $2, $2 to hundreds of dollars. You know what I'm saying? It's just even the smaller stuff like maybe we was going to business together. Any one of us, you know what I'm saying? Boom. Hey, I got a lawnmower in business. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I need you to cut this yard at 10 o'clock on Thursday morning. You know what I'm saying? Boom. 1 yard could turn to 16 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's just little stuff. So I think the accountability part can foster great relationships. You know, it can break relationships, but when you holding each other accountable, it's more beneficial to keep it a buck holding it accountable than letting the person just, you know, run off a whim, like doing whatever, you know, instead of trying to build on some nonsense type stuff.
It's hard to network and build relationships that way. Like
Yeah.
in certain positions in life, everybody has the opportunity to recommend somebody for something. You can't let your knock be it's not that accountable.
Yeah.
Because right then, the person you're talking to,
Oh, yeah.
that I can't have somebody.
That resume out the door.
Yeah, it's a waste of time. You could have every other check mark in the book, but if accountability isn't one of them, then it's a waste. So,
Yeah, for sure.
Nah, and although like I think accountability, and we've said it multiple times today, is a key part of life. In relationships and organizations and everything, it's just a key part because you probably won't get that job if they know you're not credible or they know you're not accountable. You won't be there. Your friends don't depend on you as much when you're not credible, accountable. They don't listen to you. They don't listen to things you got to say. Ah, he's just talking.
Right.
She's just talking. Even parent son daughter relationships. My mama just be talking sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just the truth. It's the one of the biggest parts of life, and I don't think people realize that they don't hold themselves accountable or take their group accountable into things that need to be done or things that can grow a person, a group, financially, culturally, anything.
Yeah. How would y'all say? What would be some for somebody that's trying to start over, and how could they input or implement accountability to start over? Like, what's some small wins that you can hold yourself accountable for to build upon character and XYZ?
It's based off your day to day.
Right.
That's how I tell everybody that I'm a manager of. I hate saying it like that, but everybody that I train, take your wins in stride. And if you were at a point to where you feel like you can't get a win, like make it something simple.
Right. Yeah.
Make your bed in the morning. That's a win. Make it small. Make it as small as it needs to be, and let that be the first pebble into your foundation. So, make your bed in the morning. Show up to work on time. Make breakfast. Whatever you need to do, and then from there, build your accountability goals. Make your daily planner. Get something done at work. Then you can go further and, hey, if you want to be in management, set that MAP goal out. Achieve that. Now your foundation is so large, and your building blocks are just steadily stacking that way. But people don't see everybody who's a millionaire or everybody who owns their own business or like Free has a production studio, the podcast, all that stuff going on. There was still a small pebble that started that before he got to where he is now.
Yeah, I'm gonna speak on that.
Cause I remember this man bought his first camera. I remember it all, man.
So, accountability and Free's production life. I started off with a Canon T6, $500 camera at the time. $500 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Then I had said, I'm gonna take some pictures. Never took a picture. But then I had my kid and I was like, I'm gonna take some pictures. I ain't finna pay nobody to take no pictures. I'm gonna go ahead and try to take some pictures. Boom, so I take some pictures, threw that camera in the box. I'm like, dang, what happened to my camera? You know what I'm saying? One day we get to move and I find my camera. Little did I know I was getting deployed. Boom, I get deployed, so I had nothing but time. I said, well, I'm finna learn how to use this camera. Appreciate you, YouTube University. You know what I'm saying? Now YouTube was the biggest step in holding myself accountable because I had to choose to go watch videos to learn. You know what I'm saying? And the only way was to get better was to learn the basics of photography, basics of videography, basics of lighting, basics of everything, you know what I'm saying?
Lighting, all of it.
Yeah, so boom. That was another little step. I was gone 10 months. Twice a week, I was throwing pebbles in the water.
Reels, everything.
I was posting probably once or twice. Every time I learned something new, I tried to implement it. Fast forward, I got decent, got back home, I started getting clients. Who would have known I could make money off this camera, you know what I'm saying? Which prompted me to be like, either you ain't finna do this or you gonna do it full spin, you know what I'm saying? Everybody, I'm 0 or 100. If I ain't doing it, I'm not finna do it. If I'm gonna do it, I gotta go and do it, or I'm not gonna do it, So every day, I used to just tell myself, Free, you gonna get a studio. Free, you gonna get some good cameras. Free, your equipment gonna upgrade. Free, you gonna get a team. This gonna be life. Yeah. So every time I wanted to do something, I wrote it down. And that's the main way I held myself accountable. I took some notes, and then every time I did something, check, is you doing what you got to do? You posting? You know, are you marketing yourself right? Just the little things like this. So that's how I became FL Productive.
I was just about to say that. Just because people not acknowledging the steps you taking to do
Yeah.
that, as long as you have, like you say, you have a checklist of what you doing. As long as you making the steps towards that, you on the right path.
Hey, and people don't believe in this, and I 100% do now. You speak certain stuff into existence.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking, writing it down, you speak certain stuff over your life, over people around you. Shoot, I told them the beginning of this year. What did I tell y'all? I told y'all this our year. Whatever you gonna do, for you, do it. I haven't had the best year, but I spoke that over all of us. I'll be honest with you. I spoke it over all of us. You go back in the group message and see. I said, this is our year. Lord knows, Freedom got a studio. He been speaking on that for the longest. One of my boys done had him a baby. He enjoying his life. He's more life, more family. Love it. We are growing, and we are being people around me. I see it, and I love it. And I don't always speak on it, like DC just said. People around you don't always speak on it, but believe people do see it.
Yeah.
People see it all the time. And when I get around these environments, I love to say, DC, bro, love to seeing you upgrading your life to where you are now. Hey, bro, for real, free. You got the studio. You got us in here every week. When you got this thing, we doing it. Rook, I see you every day. You teach me something every day, dog. I love seeing it. Sometimes you just got to motivate people around you. And that's holding your people accountable to seeing their potential. I see y'all potential.
I have no problem sending out a little text, man. Hey, I'm proud of y'all.
Hey,
Yeah.
for real.
Nah.
Send it all
man.
the time, be like, bro, I'm proud of you, bro.
It's important to get the roses. It's
Yeah,
important
for
to
sure.
get them.
Yeah, because you don't want to wait. And nowadays, you definitely don't want to wait. Because nobody knows. Tonight, you might not, and I hate speaking negative. You might go to sleep and you might not wake up. You might go down the street, and it might be a drunk driver. It might be anything. Lord knows when the last word, what your last words will be to somebody.
Because it kind of puts you in the mentality. It's like, man, am I really doing this?
Yeah.
Right? Am I really doing this right? Am I doing what everything I'm supposed to do that's better for me?
Yeah.
You just need that confirmation. Somebody always kind of like, hey, man, I'm proud of you, man. You're doing everything you need to do. It's always good to hear.
Yeah, everything. Like I said, you can always give yourself a pat on the back, like I said earlier. But sometimes you need a pat on the back from somebody else.
Yeah, for sure, man. Hey, I really think we hit that good, you know. We got some alibis.
I got one. I want to thank, personal shout out. I want to thank my sister and my mama for holding me accountable. They asked me for about 2 months straight, y'all gonna do the podcast or y'all not? I said it's coming.
I get that all the time.
Yeah.
It's coming. That's the two people that kept bugging me specifically. So I'm gonna shout them out and say, we told y'all it was coming. We doing it more consistently again. We just had to get the space. My boy had to get the space. He had to get all his stuff together. We were shooting it at his house. We were, you know what I'm saying? We were shooting it consistently. But he said, hey y'all, I need a little time. I gotta get it right. And look at us now. Back, bigger digs. And we told y'all,
I'm gonna say it on the pod rather than send it on the text. Hey, bro, I'm proud of you, man.
proud.
Yeah.
100%.
Hey, this look. This is like looking in the mirror, man. I owe half of the shit to y'all, you know. What I'm saying?
Hey, and honestly, it's only still up. This is
Nah,
just the
yeah.
beginning.
Still
It's still up.
We just got a
You
foot in
always
the
can
door.
go up.
Hey,
We just got a little foot in the door.
And
What
I
they
do
say?
want to say it. The people that know us, we are, just because once again we may not give you your roses or we may forget, we are always cheering for y'all.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Non-stop. We are always cheering for y'all. We are always proud to see other people succeed. We are not crabs in a bucket. We want y'all to go as high as possible and achieve every goal you set.
I was texting somebody today about that. They were having a little situation about work and stuff, man. I was just little words of encouragement. I ain't never thought I'd be the person to give you
Yeah,
that.
I know, right?
Hey,
Bro.
I'm gonna say this. I said it last week. The best way y'all can support us is by us supporting you. So if you want to shout out, You want to send some gear. You want, even if it's just a little shout out, you do hair, XYZ, whatever.
I might throw a little wig on.
I don't know. I ain't gonna say I'm gonna throw a little wig on, but hey, I might be like, hey, shout out, blah blah blah. Just hit me up personally. Say you want to shout out. I promise you, I'll shout you out. Tell me what you need, what business you got going on, even if it's just a personal. Hey, I'm just trying to be out there, trying to get more famous. I'll shout you out every week. I don't mind. Just inbox me personally, whatever you
Shout out
need.
whoever put this question out too, man.
Yeah, shout out. Yo, we need who.
Stuck like a mother.
Yeah, we was all week. Hey, what we gonna talk about this week, man? And it's at least one of us every week saying, "Hey, what we talking about this week, dog?" I ain't gonna lie to you. Look, this the funny aspect of it. Every week, about 2 days after we film, somebody like, "Hey, we shooting next week. What we talking about, man? What we got going? We need to figure something out." And that's why we appreciate y'all. We want y'all to drop some comments, DM one of us. What do y'all want to hear about? For sure.
But again, we appreciate all the supporters. We appreciate all the haters. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. And for real, tell somebody you love them. You know what I'm saying? That'll make or break somebody's day. You know what I'm saying? That could be that little thing that be like, I'm going to get whatever I set out to be done.
And the person you see fucking up, tell them they fucking up.
Yeah, hold them accountable. Hold them accountable.
Even if they hate you.
All right,
For real.
don't tell them.
So we appreciate y'all for tuning in to the Concept Podcast. Until next time.
Pew, 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 pew.